Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So as always, do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. The first topic talks a little bit about The Last of Us HBO, specifically Season 2, and when we can expect it to release. This is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. Ellie actress Bella Ramsey reckons that HBO's The Last of Us Season 2's release date will be set sometime in either late 2024 or early 2025. This might be a tad disappointing for fans who are hungry for more, but par for the course when it comes to television shows. Ramsey gave her estimate for The Last of Us Season 2's release on the Jonathan Ross show. "It will be a while," she said on today's episode. "I think we'll probably shoot at the end of this year, beginning of next, so it'll probably be the end of 2024, early 2025. HBO has yet to officially confirm a release window, so Ramsey's only guessing here, but she likely isn't too far off. As for what The Last of Us Season 2 will entail, the show's producers Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann have already dropped some hints. We know that the next season will cover the events of The Last of Us Part 2, with Ramsey reprising her role as an adult Ellie. Druckmann has hinted that Season 2 will be intense and will evoke emotions like the video game." So, yeah, with The Last of Us HBO Season 1 just recently ending, obviously people are very curious as to when they can expect Season 2, and it does seem like it's going to be a little bit of a wait, but there you go, late 2024, early 2025. But moving on to the next topic, this has to do with a popular game that just released for the Xbox consoles and is available on Game Pass, but it didn't release on PlayStation, and so PlayStation players are wondering if this game is eventually going to make its way to the PlayStation platform. And as it turns out, this game, that being Valheim, is actually an Xbox exclusive for 6 months. And it sounds like the developers are letting us know that they will, in fact, be bringing it to PlayStation. Now, they don't say that directly, but I mean, they definitely seem to allude to it. So recently, the game's lead designer was asked about the possibility of Valheim coming to PlayStation, and he says, quote, "Currently, we're only looking at the Xbox, but you never know," end quote. So, obviously he can't directly say that because it is clearly an exclusive that Microsoft paid for, but it sounds like it's going to make its way. And that's something else I kind of wanted to point out here. I mean, look, I just want to point out the fact that Microsoft still does exclusive deals with developers. Granted, it might not be as intense as like what we're seeing with a game like Final Fantasy 16 being a PS5 exclusive, but still, this is something that is worth pointing out. We are seeing Microsoft sign exclusivity deals for 6 months. Sometimes I think they're as little as 3 months, which kind of have to ask, what's the point if you're going for only 3 months? But we've also seen them signing deals for about a year. So yeah, during a time when Sony is basically getting crushed for signing third-party exclusivity deals to, help bring people onto the platform, people I think tend to forget that turns out Microsoft is doing the exact same thing. So yeah, let me know if you're somebody who wants Valheim to make its way to PlayStation. Moving on from that, we are talking about Final Fantasy 16 and how it can apparently take up to 70 to 80 hours to fully complete this game. This is being reported by WCCF Tech. They say with Final Fantasy 16 now just 3 months from its final release date, it's no wonder Square Enix is ramping up the publicity surrounding the game. So this was an interview that was conducted with producer Naoki Yoshida, and he says, quote, "When the game development was just starting out, I had the idea in mind that gamers these days are really busy with other things. So I wanted them to be able to at least aim to complete the story. I thought making the game something you can complete in about 20 hours would make sense, but more and more just got packed in. For this game, we really wanted the player to be able to experience the story from start to finish. If the story length was too long, then it might get too tiring to play. That's why we want Final Fantasy 16 to feel like a roller coaster experience, where just when you think you can see the road ahead of you, you're pulled into another direction. As a result, the game is truly packed with story, battles, etc. that if you did not skip any cutscene, it'll take about 35 hours for you to understand the meat of the story and complete the game. Now, if you want to master and level up all abilities, gather all accessories, do all of the side quests, and fight all the monster hunts, you're probably looking at around 70 to 80 hours of gameplay. Not only that, but we also included an insanely difficult New Game Plus mode that allows you to carry over all of your stats, called the Final Fantasy mode. That'll probably add even more gameplay hours. On top of that, Yoshida also mentioned the presence of online leaderboards where players will be able to compete, presumably for high scores and or clearing times. So yeah, I had to relay this information to you because I believe we've heard about the length of Final Fantasy 16 previously, but I think that the way it was explained here was actually done really well, and that's why I wanted to relay it to you guys. Basically, it's what a lot of these bigger AAA games offer. If you're just trying to beeline the story, anywhere between 30 35 hours. And I would actually say that when it comes to, a story by itself being about 35 hours, that's definitely up there. I do think that a lot of players would be totally satisfied with 20 to 25 hours. But if it's like meaningful, aspects to the story, very minimal padding, I think that 35 hours is looking pretty good. But I have a feeling that a lot of people who are going to be playing Final Fantasy 16 are going to be trying to do 100% completion. So you're probably, look, he says 70 to 80 hours, but realistically, I think most people will probably get closer to 100. I feel like that's usually how it goes. So let me know if it's a game you're going to try to get 100% completion done for. Moving on to the final topic, we have a very exciting update, in my opinion, for Spider-Man 2. Granted, we are desperate for any updates we can get regarding Spider-Man 2, but this does sound like it could be, I don't want to necessarily say a game changer, but it could really enhance the game in a pretty meaningful way. So this is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle, where it says Insomniac Games has teased very cool dialogue technology in its next game, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 for PS5. According to lead engine programmer Elon Ruskin, the technology will make its debut in the upcoming game, leaving fans to guess what that could entail. Ruskin teased the new technology during a live stream on Insomniac Games' Twitch channel, focused on careers in programming. Fans have been speculating that Spider-Man 2 might feature RPG-like dialogue options or have more interactive, realistic conversations with NPCs. The new tech might also feature more realistic lip movements and facial expressions during dialogue. Insomniac Games is known for its creative and technical prowess, so we certainly can't wait to see what they're up to. The studio has kept its upcoming projects tightly under wraps, but we've been promised that Spider-Man 2 is on track to release later this year. So yeah, this is definitely a pretty big tease, I would say, in regards to maybe something potentially exciting that we're going to end up seeing with the full gameplay reveal of Spider-Man 2. Now, I've really been thinking about Spider-Man 2 a lot lately, and I've been replaying Spider-Man Remastered, and it did make me realize that there really is a lot more that Insomniac can do with Spider-Man now that they're going to be able to just fully leverage everything the PS5 offers. They're not going to be held back by anything. They're just focused on a single console, that being the PS5. The idea that they've been working on new technology when it comes to dialogue is pretty exciting. One of the cooler things about Spider-Man is how they kind of had this thing where if you're doing anything intense with like Peter Parker, or even, with Miles Morales, and you're swinging around, the way that they're talking to people changes, where they sound a little bit more out of breath. They sound like, they're moving, and it's very realistic. Whereas if you're just kind of chilling or walking around or doing something that's not as intense, they're talking just more naturally, kind of like I am right now. And I thought that that was a really nice touch with the game. It's like that attention to detail, and it just seems like they want to take it even further. It's worth noting that this technology will very likely be implemented into the upcoming Wolverine game as well. And so, for the lead engine programmer to kind of tease this on a on a live stream, they must be pretty proud of whatever it is that they came up with here, and they're probably very eager to show it off. So, again, it's not the biggest update, but I do think it could potentially have a significant impact, because with a game like Spider-Man, Dialogue is very important, and the way it's delivered is incredibly important. And I think that they already did a great job with Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales. And, if they can improve it in a significant way, it's ultimately just going to make for a even better game. So there you go. That's the latest update I have for you on Spider-Man 2. That's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Again, if you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.